Let's talk a little bit about football or any game. It can be soccer, football, or baseball, or basketball, any kind of game. How many times have you seen a team just a very accomplished team? They're expected to be in the playoffs. And yet, somewhere along the season, they enter into a game and they just don't play well. I mean, the first 3 quarters, they're not together. They're fussing and bickering and pointing fingers at one another, and just nothing's working. There's no synergy. There's no togetherness. There's no teamwork. The first 3 quarters, just they play terrible. And yet, something happens. Here comes the fourth quarter. They're down by 3 touchdowns, 21 points. But all of a sudden, something just rises up in them. All of a sudden, they become one again. All of a sudden, they say, this game's not over. We got another quarter. I don't care if we're down 21 points. We're going to finish this game, and we're going to finish well. And we're going to set ourselves to do whatever we have to do to win. And all of a sudden, unity happens. Teamwork happens. They end up winning the game in the last 3 seconds with a long field goal attempt. And the fans go wild! We've seen that happen before, those of us who like to watch sports. But let's apply that to us. I gotta say, I played a pretty sloppy game the first 3 quarters of my life. No unity, no desire to finish well or to even play well sometimes. But here comes the fourth quarter. And Big Daddy, the Most High, the Creator of all things, our Father, those of us that know Him, He calls me to a place of unity and He says, come sit with me. Come sit with me. Come sit with me. And finally, I did. I left this world system and just turned my heart toward Him and sat with Him one morning. All of a sudden, I started to experience unity, wellness. A different direction became obvious. And when I'd come back into the world system, the next morning, He's calling, come sit with me. More unity, more oneness, more teamwork. And as a result of that, over and over, I began to understand what it's like to be well, be in a state of wellness. And about a year ago, I was sitting with Him and I said, Daddy, I've played a sloppy game. but I'm going to set myself and grit my teeth to finish well. And he said, okay, I'll help you with that. Anything we ask according to his will is done. We have to ask. We have to understand his will. And to do that, we have to sit with him. Maybe you gave yourself to him years, maybe even decades ago. Maybe you understand what it was like that time when you were rebirthed, born again. Your spirit was made brand new, but it kind of slowly slipped away from you, and you haven't played well. Stop. Just stop. Turn your heart back toward him and say, Daddy, I want to get to know you. I want to grit my teeth and set myself to finish well. And maybe there are some of you out there listening to this that have no idea who he is, have never met him, have never understood the inner healing and inner cleansing that he brings to his children. Stop. He's calling. Turn your heart toward him and tell him you want to sit with him. You want to know him. You've been playing a sloppy game, but you want to finish well. That was kind of on my heart this morning. This is the well message of his kingdom. The message that makes all things well. And you know the best part? The game's already won. All we have to do is sit with him. Listen. Play the game. Set to finish well.